Hello everyone, I am Monty Gogoi and I am here to demonstrate about high performance liquid chromatography. It is a form of column chromatography that pumps a sample mixture or analyte in a solvent at high pressure through a column with chromatographic packing material. The sample is carried by a moving carrier gas stream of helium or nitrogen. HPLC has the ability to separate and identify compounds that are present in any sample that can be dissolved in a liquid in trace concentrations as low as parts per trillion. Because of this versatility, HPLC is used in a variety of industrial and scientific applications such as pharmaceutical, environmental, forensics and chemicals.
So this is the UHPLC system that is present in our laboratory. The main components in an HPLC system includes the solvent reservoir, which holds the solvent and is referred to as the mobile phase because it moves. Next is the high pressure pump, which is used to generate a specified flow of the mobile phase, wherein there is the flow manager which says about the flow that is going on in the stationary phase. Next is the auto sampler, which is automated and controlled by computer. The injector or auto sampler introduces the solvent into a phase stream that carries the sample into the high pressure column, which contains specific packing material needed to effect separation. The packing material is referred to as the stationary phase because it is held in place by the column hardware. So this is the column compartment wherein we have mounted the column. Next we have the multi-wavelength detector, which is needed to see the separated compound bands as they elute from the high pressure column. We have two types of detectors in our system. One is the multi-wavelength detector and the fluorescence detector. For our compounds, in order to operate, we use the multi-wavelength detector.
For UV detection, deuterium discharge lamp is the light source, and for components detection in the visible region, tungsten lamp is used. The separation is based on differential partitioning of the sample components between the mobile and the stationary phase. The component which has more affinity towards the mobile phase, consequently less affinity towards the stationary phase, travels faster and elutes out first. The component which has more affinity towards stationary phase, consequently more interaction, therefore it travels slower and elutes later. This separation can be carried out according to which type of HPLC used. There are two main types of HPLC, reverse and normal phase. Reverse phase has a non-polar stationary phase and a polar mobile phase. In this case, the more hydrophobic the analytes are, the more they will retain in the stationary phase, and more polar they are, they will prefer the mobile phase. Normal phase chromatography has the stationary phase, which is polar, and the mobile phase is non-polar. This method separates analytes based on their affinity to a polar stationary surface. The more polar the analytes are, the more they will retain in the stationary phase. The more hydrophobic they are, the more they will prefer the mobile phase.
To run HPLC, we need mobile phases. Shown here are different kinds of mobile phases. A mobile phase is basically a solution that runs through the stationary phase called the column. These are the different kinds of column used in a UHPLC system as the stationary phase. A pivotal step prior to the analysis is the sample preparation. So for the sample preparation, we need micropipette, a syringe, these are the syringe filters, and these are the vials via which the sample gets injected and it flows through the HPLC system. A standard sample of DL tyrosine, which is a racemic mixture. We will filter the sample using syringe filters with the help of a syringe before introducing it into the vials. So this is the standard sample of DL tyrosine which we have prepared. And now we will place the standard sample in the tray of the auto sampler. Once the mobile phase is attached to appropriate mobile phase tubing lines, we make sure the tubing lines are flushed thoroughly so that it does not contain any carryovers that can cause contamination to the system. For that, we need to purge the system. For purging, we need to open the purge valve first. Upon purging, the tubing will eliminate any bubbles that might be present in the mobile phase tubings. Once there are no bubbles observed in the tubing, the purge process has been completed and finally the valve may be closed. So this is the Chromeleon software via which we operate the UHPLC system. Next, in our software itself, we need to select the panel in which we will analyze the samples. In our system, we have the multi-wavelength detector, in short MWD, and fluorescence detector, in short FLD. For our standard sample, we will use the MWD panel, which will show the UV visible spectra in the ultraviolet or visible region. So this is the panel of MWD, wherein you can see this is the flow and the pressure which is generated in the column compartment. This is the pressure limit which is exerted in the column, and these are the channels A, B, C and D, wherein we give the flow that passes through the column. For analyzing a sample, we need to create a new program file, a method file and a sequence. Once the new file creation is done, we can proceed for the analysis of the standard sample. The manner in which the final data is displayed is based on the computer and the software. The information is sent from the detector to a computer which generates the chromatogram. The number of peaks present indicates the number of components in a mixture. We took the standard sample as for DL tyrosine, and here we observe two different peaks at a retention time of 1.663 and other at a retention time of 2.177. So it is proved that the sample that we took contains two types of isomers in the racemic mixture. Usually the x-axis of the UHPLC chromatogram shows the amount of time taken by the analyte to pass through the column and reach the detector. Typically, the y-axis describes the area of the peak. It is the reflection of the amount of specific analyte that is present in the sample. The mobile phase exits the detector and is either sent to a waste or collected as desired.